Hello there, Site-42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. And welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site-42 of the SCP Foundation, as well as Head Containment Specialist. And as I do every day for 30 minutes to 3 hours, depending on the day, daily, for more than 7 months, the daily streak remains strong. I am here to answer your queries about the SCP Foundation, this mysterious organization that we all find ourselves employed by one way or another. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who are very salty about this whole containing thing, if I'm being honest, and of course, hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview. Perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. We are here today for the next just shy of 1 hour, 53 minutes if I'm being exact, from this point to answer your questions. But before I answer the chat, let me start with a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, low key, thank you for being our most punctual member of our Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e. chatter, of the day. Congratulations on being first, actually. Alongside you, Junior Researcher Sally, Dr. Frogman, Dr. Puppeteer, King of ADHD, America, Senior Researcher Alex, Kitten Kinsey, Dr. Puppeteer, Fanta FF10, Black Phoenix, Dark Shadow Fang. Everyone who I have just named, thank you for being here punctually right at the start of the day, and thank you for being members of Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially how you're going to help us win the battle against the White Names. Meanwhile, Sammy Ravehaven, I'm in debt, Travis, and Kitty Kaiser. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being punctual, and thank you for being here just for being you today. I also see Amber has wandered in. Good to see you, Amber. You missed the opening member shout-out, but you've been around these parts long enough. You get a little hello, hello. And finally, Desk, good to see you, ready and active for today's events. Wait, I just realized the title of the stream. Well, Grossa, welcome to today's stream subject. I'm going to talk about today's stream subject. As always, I will answer any donos, any chats after this stream subject. So give me just a moment to get through today's subject, then we'll move on to the usual Q&A. So, SCP Containment Breach is a well-loved game in the SCP community. Also a little controversial to some of the actual wiki users, because god damn, did so many people try to join the SCP community during the time Containment Breach was super viral. That was a lot for staff to deal with. I kind of feel bad for them. But we can't deny that it did something for the SCP Foundation's popularity in the internet zeitgeist. Thank you, Markiplier, and the rest of you Let's Players. You might have noticed if you're keeping track of how many SCP articles were written per year, it would be something like 300 a year, 400 a year in 2008, 2009, 2010. And then in 2012, all of a sudden, there's 1,000 articles in 1 year out of nowhere. Well, that is the containment breach waves part. And I gotta say, I'm all for things that bring more people into the community because, as I always tell you, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename Signal Boosters, the more people we have around the water cooler, the more engagement and the more resources we have for our little community theater SCP projects to grow up big and strong and to rival the Netflixes and the Amazons. You're not going to hear me complain about publicity for the SCP community. But this year, we're talking about containment breach for a different reason. It's not a historical, it's a future. You see, we guys have upcoming tomorrow a new SCP live-action short film. A new live-action short film that is going to act as the Kickstarter plug for a, I believe, feature film. Now, take all of this with a grain of salt. You know, I am here to report on what's going on in the community to you guys, especially Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename Signal Boosters, so that you guys can in turn spread the word, support the project so we can do this. That being said, I have only shared a scant few emails with this team. We're still in opening negotiations. Normally I would do a lot more work ahead of time before I reveal something to you because I want to be able to trust what I reveal to you. But it's dropping tomorrow. We're in a bit of a hurry. So, on YouTube, here on this fine Google-owned platform we're all a part of, there's a YouTube channel with less than 1,000 subs. It is called Keter Labs. Some of you might pronounce it Keter Labs. You're wrong, but it's fine. That's just so you can learn how to spell it. Keter Labs is making SCP Containment Breach, the movie. I think they want to do a feature film. That's the part I'm not sure about as I say this. But what I do know is they have made a short film that I believe is the Kickstarter pitch for their full movie. And so, let me pull this up on my monitor here. Keter Labs YouTube. And I'm going to turn off our Billith approved playlist that we normally have here, because instead we are going to watch what they have on their YouTube channel. A little bit of a preview. So first of all, here is Keter Labs. 758 subscribers. They were at 748 before I started stream. Some of you must already be doing a good job. Good work, Mobile Task Force, Psi-42 Signal Boosters. So first of all, this I really like. This is their original redesign of SCP-173. Look at how fine that peanut looks. That is a good peanut. Like Broseph? So yeah, that is a practical model, everyone. You see the fake blood? Obviously, it's a YouTube, it's a horror movie. You gotta have the fake blood. This is a practical model. All of my dreams are coming true. All right, let me see what else I can find of interest on this channel to introduce you to right now. Obviously, many of you are going to do the right thing, which is to visit the channel yourselves momentarily. But while I'm working on it, here. Let's just go for the real thing, because this is going to give you a tone. This is a 30-second trailer for this film coming up. Here we go. So, I'm going to spoil a little something for you. I am not going into this blind. I have been talking to these guys, and they treated me to a secret dev link to preview the film. I have watched it. And what I can tell you, what you saw there on that screen is the quality of the filming. What you just saw is the quality throughout the film. I would say that if you saw the SCP-2316, I Do Not Recognize the Bodies in the Water, film that was just released a couple of weeks ago by a friend of the channel, Andrea Joshua Asnikar, you would note that in that, Andrea made a filmic choice to make it look very realistic, naturalistic. SCP Foundation in the real world, so to speak. This is not that. This is high concept. This is taking some of the camp and cheese from SCP Containment Breach, the game, and they are instead putting that on the screen. So this is not going to be super serial, guys. I'm not saying it's a comedy, but I'm saying it's much more heightened as a sci-fi filmic experience than the realism of previous short films. So keep that in mind. Intern Glitch in Ohio. Where can we see this trailer? The YouTube channel is called Keter Labs. They have a series of trailers, a series of shorts. They have made the video that every SCP filmmaker, including me, makes at one point or another, which is explaining why Hollywood will never make an SCP movie, explaining the Creative Commons and how that's going to work. And so they are a couple trailers in. They've got some shorts. They have been showing this short at film festivals. So they went to Beyond Fest in Hollywood. They went to Film Quest in Provo, Utah. They are on the road taking this to film festivals. And so this is, I haven't seen the reactions to what it is from the Film Fest. I have a call scheduled with the team later this week or next week. And we're going to talk shop about the film festivals, about their plans for future creations when it comes to this. But they're shopping at the film fests. They are putting it out on YouTube tomorrow. Then again, Hollywood botched the Sunderman movie and had an interest in Jeff the Killer, and some directors love SCP. So there are near impossible possibilities. I happen to know a guy who knows a guy who has directed Marvel television series episodes. And I know for a fact that guy who knows a guy who directed Marvel television episodes is an SCP fan. So yes, I agree with you. Possibilities are not only possible, we just need to get the money, the support, the people. If we can get the backing, SCP is in the film community right now. We just need to prove to them that it can be lucrative so that they can keep making them. Because, you know, that's the big thing. The money heads, they're all about mitigating risk. And if there's a risk, they're not going to do it. We've got to make sure it's a sure deal. That's how we build this, people. So, to end our subject of the stream, tomorrow is the premiere of SCP Containment Breach the movie, the short film pitch version. It's 8 to 10 minutes if I'm remembering correctly. It is releasing tomorrow. Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename Signal Boosters. You know your mission, but I'm going to tell you anyways. You've got to share this information. Every social platform, everywhere you are, every SCP friend you know needs to know that this SCP Containment Breach the movie is coming. It's got to be on the Twitters. It's got to be on the Blue Skies. It's got to be on the Threads. Every SCP Discord server needs to know about this. Keter Labs. I hate saying it that way, but that's how some people say it. Keter Labs, that's more correct. Keter Labs on YouTube. SCP Containment Breach the movie. We have a signal to boost. You have your orders. And so, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename Signal Boosters. Secure, contain, protect. You know your mission. Make it happen. I look forward to watching it again tomorrow with everybody. I'm trying to find out what time they're doing the premiere so I can be streaming and or just in the premiere window, at least. Oh! One last thing about it. Guys, I have to warn you. All of that good news for Keter Labs, SCP Containment Breach the movie, there is one bit of bad news. I should say fine news, bad news, and good news. So, fine news, bad news, good news. Are you ready? Here we go. And I'm prefacing this with we can't expect every person who comes into the SCP Foundation community to know about all the drama. The fine news is that Dr. Shaw is in this film. Now, why Dr. Shaw why is that fine? Why is that good news? At least they didn't use Dr. Bright. Well, they didn't realize that the amulet is Dr. Bright, and so they used the amulet for Dr. Shaw. That's the bad news. The good news is, A, they called it Dr. Shaw. They at least did that. But B, the character is in a manner where when the film performs and when they want to make the big one, the character can be shunted to the side anyways. We don't need to worry about that. I told them, hey, you don't want to watch out what you're doing there. And they're like, oh, it's not important. We'll just get rid of that. So, yeah. The character isn't even named in the film. It's just a person walking and talking, and you can see the amulet. And in the credit, it says Dr. Shaw. So, by the end of it, it's something that can be washed away if this is popular and if we ask for it. And so, if you guys are in there in the comments saying, hey, Shaw's fine, get rid of the amulet, or even don't use the character at all, but be chill about it, don't be mad at them, they didn't know, they didn't really know the whole deal, then I'm sure they will be happy for the engagement and they'll go right where we want with that. So I'm just warning you ahead of time, that is a part of it, it's not the worst it could be, and they're probably going to clean that up for us. Everybody who's coming in now, oh my God, there's a movie, all this, you need to rewind the last 15 minutes of stream. Because I just talked about it, I showed trailers, I did the whole thing, it's in the VOD. And so you can go back and do that, but for now, I need to get to our Q&A. And so, starting out, let me catch up with any donos that happened during the stream subject. Rion the 4D, thank you for your 6-month member message as a Mobile Task Force Captain here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the service you're doing to help us win the battle against the White Names. Best part of the day. Well, much obliged. Happy to bring a little up into the crew. We all need morale after all. Low Key, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Krabby Patty on your way past the commissary. I'll be back later, but this will be my generous donation of the day because I'm buying things for my job. Stethoscopes are expensive, so are radios. Hey, you have been exceptionally generous the last long time. You've got a streak going, Low Key. You've been going crazy. You've been going silly mode in our chat. Anything is fine. Remember, our goal here for a community effort like this is lots of small donos from a lot of people. That adds up. It's like a pyramid scheme, but instead of getting rich off it, we get movies. So, that is the goal. You want to do it the easy way. You don't want to tax any particular person. It's bad for their health. They can't sustain it, and then they're worse off for it. We don't want that. So thank you for any donation, no matter how generous in the first place, but also for you particularly, thank you for your massive generosity this last week. And yes, please take care since you're in the medical field. It's very important for you to be taking care. Ay. Did I miss something here? No, that's not Yes, intern Tanner Cardin. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Lockjaw, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some Sour Patch Kids on your way past the commissary. SCP-682, SCP-5140. Didn't we just talk about a fight between these two the other day? Am I remembering this correctly? 5140? Yeah, the bodies on the Everest. Yeah, no, we mentioned this the other day. And SCP-682 is well strong against all sorts of cognitohazards. So 682 would not just join the mountain's dead bodies. So that is not what we're really worried about there. Kitten Kinsey, thank you for your 2-month member message as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service. Back again, still looking into what I am, not human. Well, perhaps more science will be the answer. More science is sure to figure it out. Raccoon Trevor for life, thank you for your 1-month member message as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and service. My first month. And you made it out without any grievous injuries. You're welcome from the very professional and well-maintained foundation that does not have constant containment breaches and researchers dying every other day. That's just a myth. We're actually quite good at our jobs, thank you. Trazen, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a caramel apple on your way past the commissary. Meatbag, we must talk. What in my name, Trazen the Infinite, do you hold in that glorified hotbox you call Site-19? Why must you contain such terrible things? Hand them to me. I'll keep you safe. Oh, no. Oh, no, I'm not falling for that. No, our containment efforts, as I just said, are top-notch. And so you can watch how good we do containing. And just maybe even have your own personal cell in our containment block. That sounds like an even better idea. Why don't you come monitor the anomalies for safety from the comfort of your own containment cell? Sounds great. We'll get you ready for that. I'm curious, would you act in a feature SCP film if you had the opportunity, whether it be a background character, main character, brief cameo, or what have you? Oh, definitely. I enjoy the performing arts. Obviously, it's kind of like my shtick. And so, actually, funny story, I was supposed to have a cameo in the SCP Containment Breach movie that is coming out tomorrow, the short film pitch video version of it. The problem was it was during the winter of last year, right after I had messed up my ankle, and I was too busy trying to keep up with work and not being able to walk. And so I completely left them on red by accident. But they did put Site-42 as a cameo in there regardless. So tomorrow, when you're watching it, see if you can spot the Site-42 cameo. Because we're in there. But yes, if it came to acting and performing in a short film, I would love to. I would probably allow my hair to go back to its natural color. That way it looked a little more professional for the film. It would be a little more suspension of disbelief. But yes, I think that would be fun. If there's a desk in there, I'm going to call it a cameo. Lol. Mahogany desk on the checklist. I think you'll find one. What happens if SCP-096 looks in a mirror? Nothing. It already knows how ugly it is. It doesn't care if it knows how ugly it is. It cares if you know how ugly it is. Raccoon Trevor for life, thank you for gifting a Site-42 membership to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. And if you got that membership, make sure to thank Raccoon Trevor for their generosity. For those of you who are just showing up and saying things like, wait, what movie, etc., please watch the video from the beginning. The first thing we talk about after the welcomes is SCP Containment Breach, the movie by Keter Labs here on YouTube. Dropping a short film tomorrow as a pitch for a future feature film, I believe. I will have more meetings with them to iron out the details, but we're going quick right here. Just check out the earlier part of the VOD. It's about 15 minutes. And then make sure you're subscribed to them on YouTube and all the like. Time check. I need to know how late I entered the stream. We are currently at the approximately 30-minute mark of stream, which leaves approximately 30 minutes left. We are halfway through today's stream. Interesting. So, intern Roman Hammock, you are going to be my reason to talk about this today, as well as, for those of you who don't realize why I said it was bad news that SCP-963, known as the Dr. Bright Amulet, was in the Keter Labs short film that's coming up, SCP Containment Breach, the movie. It's because the character of Dr. Bright, and therefore the amulet of SCP-963, have been permanently excised from the SCP canon by all SCP community members, I'd say 95% of them. The reason is quite simple. The author who created Dr. Bright and 963, the person who used that character as an author avatar, did some really skeezy stuff and was alleged to have done other skeezy stuff. And it got to the point where, because that character was so intrinsically linked to the creator's barely disguised fetish, it would be disrespectful to keep that anomaly and character on the wiki. So a lot of the stories that include that character have had it replaced with a Dr. Elias Shaw. And here at Site-42, we have a policy where we do not talk about Dr. Bright or SCP-963 in any manner, except for to say that we don't talk about Bruno. If you want to know why, there's a video on this channel to go deeper into it called The Last Death of Dr. Jack Bright. And there, you can see a short summary of the situation with links to more information if you want to hunt it down. So, intern Roman Hammock, I think your name was. Haddock? Hammock? Either way, I'm not answering your question because we don't talk about that anomaly here. And I'm not mad at you or anything. A lot of people don't know about this. Remember, the film people that I'm talking to, they didn't know the depths of the situation either when they played the way they played. If they did, they would have used Shaw without the amulet. So I'm not mad when people bring it up. I just want you to know that's not how it goes. Now, if you repeatedly break the rule, then I get mad because you're not ignorant, you're stupid. That's what I always was taught when I was young. If you do something wrong the first time, if you're wrong the first time, don't worry about it, you're just ignorant. It's if you do the wrong thing multiple times that you're stupid. And that's when you got to worry about it. Raccoon Trevor, thank you for gifting another membership to today's Site-42 Containment Hazard Assessment Team. We appreciate you helping us to build our ranks of green names to help us win the battle against the white names. Rymaton, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a limonade on your way past the commissary. I think I found a new anomaly. There's a road where I am that has a spot that has an infinitely returning pothole. They filled it dozens of times. Is that all? Well, we'll have to investigate it. We'll have to monitor it. Basically, just have a camera on it for a little while and see when it get fixed, how it get broke, and what's the relationship there. It could just be in a particularly bad environmental spot, some sort of sinkhole underneath, or it could be something else. So let's set up a crew and check it out. Intern Lockjaw, thank you for donating again, but I don't understand. I already answered this yesterday's stream when you asked it, and I already answered it this stream when you asked it the first time. 682 is not affected by 5140. I don't know what else you want me to say, although I appreciate your generosity and continuing to donate to ask the same question. Perhaps you're stuck in a time loop, like Intern Dapper was almost yesterday. I'm new to all this, what is it? Well, Intern Cater, welcome to the stream if this is your first time. Welcome to Site 42. I am Site Director and Head Containment Specialist, Dr. Theron Sherman. Site 42 is part of the organization known as the SCP Foundation, a dark, non-governmental organization that hides the knowledge of magic and monsters from the general public. I'm here to answer your questions in our office hours, where I open my office door to you, the Foundation staff, to answer your questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff that contains them, the groups of interest who get really annoyed at all of our containing anomalies, and hypothetical containment procedures for anomalies outside the Foundation's purview, perhaps from a different multiverse and pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. On top of that, out of character, Word of God says above, the SCP Foundation is a creative writing community and fandom focused on this secret organization that hides magic and monsters from the public. It's kind of like an off-brand Men in Black. Instead of guys in suits hiding aliens from the public, it's guys in lab coats studying monsters and magic objects and things like that. And so the website SCP Wiki has over 9,000 different stories. It is one of the largest online creative projects in history. And because it's gotten so popular, people have made short films and games and fan art and all sorts of stuff of it, including myself making YouTube content about it. Finally, as a reminder, SCP short film, SCP Containment Breach the movie, comes out tomorrow. Watch my summary of the situation at the beginning of VOD. Enjoy it. And then tomorrow, watch the short film and spread the word. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, I think. Make sure to grab yourself a biscotti on your way past the commissary. There's a street named after you in my town. Oh, do you have a Sherman Street? I have a Sherman Avenue near me somewhere. I think it's an avenue. Yep, it's a good name. It's a good name. Is the short film free? Yes, Intern Cummings. The short film tomorrow premiere is just on YouTube, free to watch. Although, it is going to have a Kickstarter pitch for the full movie. So that's why we need to either give it money or Mobile Task Force Psi-42 codename Signal Boosters. If you can't donate, you need to be the most fervent in spreading the word to Discord servers, social medias that you have, friends who like SCP, friends who like art and film and horror and stuff like that. We need to give these guys enough support that they get funded so they can make their movie. Lockjaw, I thank you for donating again. I keep missing and I have trouble finding it. So yes, 5140, Mount Everest is at least 50% dead bodies, I think it is, that cognitohazardly cause you to join them, kind of like the bodies in the water, it's the bodies in the mountain. But 682 is particularly equipped to survive cognitohazards. Therefore, 682 would not just lie down on the mountain. Therefore, 682 would not be defeated by 5140. The Family and Ninja Guy. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Ryan Mayton, thank you for donating again. What happens if I ask 294 for a cup of God? Well, that can be pretty unpredictable because of how many, quote, gods we have in containment. And what is a god really? Is it one of the 5 Gizai that we have in containment? Is it any of the litany of Greek gods we have in containment? That could be very unpredictable. So you better watch out with that. Therese in the Infinite, thank you for donating again. Why don't you take a look in Warehouse 7B for me? Look for that particularly fine blade labeled Excalibur. I'll have that for my gallery. Excalibur. Do we have that in containment? I wouldn't be shocked. SCP-2824, SCP-8704, 8307 is a sword at least. Okay, 8307 claims to be Excalibur. 8704, in the name of all code names, SCP-8704, code name, Sir Frederick and the Mighty Morphin Power Sword. Love this goddamn website. A sentient metamorphic object capable of speech. It has taken a number of forms over the past 8 centuries, and the only consistent identifying mark across all transformations is they appear to be stuck inside of something. A stone inside a trebuchet, a scimitar piercing the abdomen of a Turkish soldier, an ICBM inside of a silo, and a sword lodged in a stone, believed to be the inspiration for the legend of Excalibur. And 2824 seems to, maybe have something to do with Excalibur, I don't know. It's not clear on first viewing. Although it is called the Once and Future King, so it seems like we have at least 3 Excaliburs on site. Not quite rivaling our 5 Gizai yet, but we are getting a lot of similar anomalies there. Intern Zoki, my favorite SCPs, I always list them at the end of stream, kind of like a tradition around these parts. End of stream is currently in about 18 minutes, so if you want to stick around, you can hear them then. If you want, you can donate to make me say I'm early. I'm not ashamed of that. Or if you want to completely cheat, you can go to yesterday's stream and watch the ending, because I say it at the end of every stream. So however you want to do it, that's when we'll do it. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again, and thank you for the cute corgi, and fare thee well. Of course you don't have the blade, it's in my gallery. Trays in the Infinite. I said we have 3 of them. I didn't say we don't have the blade, I said we have 3 of the blade. So obviously they're not that special if you got one too. But why don't you give us yours? Give us yours. We'll keep it safe with our collection. Since we have more Excalibur, it's obviously us who are the experts in containing it, therefore. Ryan Mayton, thank you for donating again. Please tell me you have Mariah Carey contained this Christmas. I can't suffer another year. Stop SCP-6221, please. That's not Mariah Carey, 6221. Although it contains the song, right? It's the album by Vikander Need that contains a whole bunch of the song. No, that's Santa Claus you're containing. Gotcha. So, oh no, 6221 does have the Infinite Mariah Carey CD as one of its iterations. But no. A quick reminder to Site-42 staff. Mariah Carey is released by us every year. Everyone says, oh, the Foundation couldn't hold her. No, we have to let her go. It's part of the ritual. If we don't want it to happen, we have to let her out once a year. It is a Archon class anomaly. We could keep it contained, but the results would be very bad. Lockjaw, thank you for donating again. If 682 can adapt, why can't 294 with 682 death? I don't know what you mean by that, actually. I need you to elaborate a little bit. If you're saying why can't 294 adapt to 682's adaptation, the answer is it can. But the problem is we can't get enough of the liquid, And the way that we tried to get all the liquid by making it freaking rain the liquid with another anomaly still did not atomize 682 enough to get rid of it. So that strategy with the liquid just is not feasible. Ryder and Hobo Joe, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Somebody in the chat asked, is Joe Biden an SCP? And the answer is, every recent president is an SCP. If you read SCP-9009, codename White People, all of the SCP, all of the recent presidents have either been Foundation plants or SCPs. Meanwhile, if you look at SCP-5004, that is Donald Trump being a presidential plant by us to contain a demon that's underneath the Capitol, and it's contained by Donald Trump's reality sync ability, which nullifies anomalies around him, although it results in him being absolutely brain-dead stupid. Just, it rots away as his brain, which, you know, explains a lot of what we're seeing in real life. Honestly, at this point, I would have rather installed Clef as president. Duskbringer, you realized that you got a membership from Raccoon Trevor. Raccoon Trevor has been very generous today. Thank you, Raccoon Trevor. And thank you for thanking Raccoon Trevor for your gratitude is quite polite. We appreciate that here. Rymaton, thank you for donating again. Why not put SCP-294 and SCP-914? Because we like 294 the way it is. Do you know how many unpredictable things could happen if we put an anomalous machine like that into another anomalous machine? Let's just not waste a good thing we got here. Jonathan, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a bag of cheesy poofs on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, I say we unleash SCP-686 on all of humanity. This post is sponsored by the Wanderer's Library. Okay, what is SCP-686? What do the snakes want now? Infectious lactation. No! Simply no. We are not releasing the SCP Big Naturals Mommy Milkers Anomaly on the public. No. Red Static, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Melanade on your way past the commissary. Is someone with an abnormal feature be an anomaly? Well, it depends on what kind of abnormal. Is it within standard deviations of humanity, or is it anomalous? Abnormal is not as far as anomalous, you see. Abnormal can just be slightly out of the ordinary. Anomalous goes to not naturally possible. So, not likely. When is the SCP film going to premiere? Also in what time zone? Intern, person perhaps. Unfortunately, I don't know. They do not have a premiere on their YouTube channel right now. And in our messages, I did ask them what time it goes live. They haven't told me. What I will do is when they tell me about the time, watch my channel, Site 42 today. I will put up a community post announcing when their movie is coming out once I know when it is. So keep an eye on it. Grossa, thank you for informing me. Yes, you guys have got the like count above our viewer count. This is going to allow us to have the YouTube algorithm bring us more people. People who would be very interested in the SCP Foundation. People who would be very interested in SCP movies being made. And that is how we build our ranks of Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codenamed the Signal Boosters, so we can get these projects funded, get these projects engagement, get more artists into the community of SCP wanting to help us make these things. So I thank you, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, for your service. Good work, team. Keep hitting that like button. Ryan Mayton, thank you for donating again. The O5 Council has ordered 686's release. They absolutely have not done that. They would not be so stupid. The mission is to maintain normalcy, and that does not very much maintain normalcy. And if they somehow actually have ordered it, well, I guess we're going to have to overthrow the overseers again. Wouldn't be the first time. Artifact Guy, welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. I've been falling to sleep to SCP stories. Well, intern Melinda, that's a good way. The SCP reading videos can be very calming, yes. Dr. Sherman, where are you? I'm in the audiophonics lab, obviously. Jonathan, thank you for donating again. Okay, then put it in an industrial humidifier. I just want to see what happens. This post has had its sponsorship revoked. We are not exposing a gaseous form of an anomalous milk bottle that makes you lactate and grow big mommy milkers. We are not doing that. Stop asking. Charlie 10 Pro, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a coffee on your way past the commissary. Does 682 have fur, and how do you clean it? So, it depends on the canonicity. SCP-682, as you know, is a reptile, but is a large, vaguely reptile-like creature of unknown origin. And it has adapted several different adaptations for scenarios. I would assume that if thrown into the cold, it would evolve fur to keep itself warm. So, it adapted solar sails. It could do fur. So sometimes it has fur, sometimes it doesn't. Intern Nuzzy, while I appreciate the compliment on my stunningly sunset hair, I do need you to listen to the moderator and make sure not to spam the chat. Please follow the rules of the blue name, otherwise you get smited. Jasper, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some cookies on your way past the commissary. Can we give some 686 to the trans B-Fem staff? No! No, we cannot use 686 for transitioning the way we use SCP-682 for a very simple reason. The infection of this liquid. Let me be clear here. SCP-686 is an opaque white liquid consisting of a suspension of lipids and proteins that is indistinguishable from high-grade dairy milk without detailed analysis. At a biochemical level, you see a lot of more clear differences. When isolated, blah, 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 infection managed to make the jump to the farm's human workers, and the Foundation became involved. The infection increases the host's lactation rate, or if the host is not lactating, causes it to begin doing so. It appears that any mammal is susceptible to infection regardless of gender. The initial symptoms of the disease have a rapid onset, but are relatively minor. Swelling of the mammary gland tissue causing breast development in males, and increased sensitivity of the nipples in both males and females. On average, a human of either gender in this stage of the disease will produce between 0.5 and 1 liter of milk per day. If milk is extracted every 8 hours, then the human being stays stable in this state. But if not milked enough, they will continue to grow bigger naturals as well as extra nipples for the milking. They're turning into a cow, not into a trans woman. So, no. Members who want to transition can wait for SCP-113 to make its rotation to their site as per SCP Foundation medical plan that you have because you work here when the time comes. Are SCP authors okay? Aoki. Are any artists okay? No. No, they're not. You gotta find something weird to write about. You gotta find something to branch out. You gotta make yourself different. You gotta stand out somehow. And sometimes it's the big naturals, mommy milkers, growth hormone SCP. Listen, at least 45% of art includes in some way or another the author's barely disguised fetish. The question is, can you notice it? Are you into that too? I don't know, man. I don't know. Remember, the SCP Wiki is an 18+ community, as is the SCP official Discord server, as is the Site42 Discord server, because you will be exposed to gratuitous violence and sexuality at random intervals. You never know what's going to happen. Remember, we have multiple anomalous dildos in containment. Right, Maton, thank you for donating again. After my statement on SCP-686, I was demoted to D class. That makes sense. It's hard to be a creative community while being also 18+, and it's not going to stop kids from being in the fandom. You are correct, Grossa. There's only so much we can do on the public internet, except make our rating clear, and anybody who knows what they're getting into, they have a choice to make. We can't stop you from watching even if you're not supposed to. All we can say is don't. End of story. Get parental permission, just like parents sometimes show their kids rated R movies. Even though it's rated 17, with parental consent and proper communication, these subjects can not go too far. Or, the SCP authors, they're not just writing smut. Even the sexualized content, it's within like an artistic framework for reasons. Worst SCP ever? Intern catnap, that would clearly be... Hold on, let me steal myself here. SCP 729-J. Is the worst SCP of all. Hands down, can't be beat. Dr. Sherman, who decided that a brick of diamond was anomalous? Well, was it created by an anomaly? I don't know. I need more details for what you're talking about here. What happens if a D-Class eats SCP-018? So, if the Super Ball that gets more momentum every time it bounces against the law of physics, therefore continually bounces faster and faster, were eaten, it would either bounce off the teeth when bitten, which would probably knock some teeth out, that would be bad. If it was swallowed whole, it would not bounce throughout the bodily system. It is rubber. I don't know that it would be digested. I think the D-Class would then have to pass it. And if it bounced on the other end, it would begin bouncing. Or maybe it would land in water of some sort. I don't think there's a reason to test that, honestly. Jonathan, thank you for donating again. Hands Dr. Sherman the Rock of Purpose. It's a rock that when held repeatedly says in your mind, the purpose of this rock is to tell you that. Ad infinitum. We can put that next to the procrastination rock on my desk. And next to all of the excess stacks of paper and folders on my desk, now that I think about it. All right, Site-42 staff, we are currently at the end of stream. And at the end of stream, as always, I tell you my favorite SCPs. But of course, I'm not going to tell you the SCPs I personally wrote are my favorite. That would be cheating. That would be narcissism at its highest level. But if you did want to read the SCPs I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm Site-42 Hub and author page on the SCP Wiki. There you can read the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects too, stuff like that. And on that author page, one tab over from the SCPs themselves, you'll find some links. Some links that people are very often very interested in finding, but they just don't have the moxie. They don't have the determination to find those links. But that's not you guys. Your Mobile Task Force Sci-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. You would never be so weak as that. So while you're at those links, you can become a Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You could do a Ko-Fi donation or a YouTube Super Chat to donate to us one time at a time. Either way, we greatly appreciate your direct donations. They are the quickest way to help us keep the lights on around Site-42. And if you're part of the Broke Gang, do not worry about that. As I said earlier, we are an arts community, and so we understand the starving artist syndrome very well. And so if you are too broke to donate, you can still support the channel and the SCP community in general by acting as an honored and valuable member of Mobile Task Force Sci-42, codename the Signal Boosters, by watching our videos, commenting and liking, by watching our streams, chatting and liking, by sharing and subscribing to our channel. You help the YouTube algorithm bring people to us, and then when we deploy Mobile Task Force Psi-42 to other channels to support their SCP projects, they get more support and engagement. They go, ooh, I like this SCP community. I like how much hype they give me. I like how much money they donate to my project to help me do it. This is good stuff. And that is how we hook artists into staying in the SCP community with love and support and financing so that we get more and more SCP movies and games and things like that. Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename Sigma Boosters, I salute you for your efforts of helping us to support the SCP Wiki and its authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, etc., etc. So, now without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning about the last one, it's about rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, 8980. Content warning on the last one. It is a rough read. Now, Psi-42 staff, before my final sign off, let me point out, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename Signal Boosters, has current deployment orders. Keter Labs, if you like to say it that way, here on YouTube, has a SCP short film, SCP Containment Breach the movie, that has toured film festivals across the country and is now coming to YouTube. It is going to lead to a pitch for a larger project. So we need to hype this thing like crazy. Social medias, all of your social medias, all your Discord server, all of your horror friends, all of your SCP friends. Tell them this is coming out. Make them watch it. Watch it multiple times. Make sure to like and comment and subscribe when you interact with Keter Labs, because they need hype, they need the algorithm. If we can gift that to them, they'll be more likely to succeed in making their project, which will make them want to keep making projects. It's all part of our evil and sexy plans. And so, head over to Keter Labs as soon as we're done with stream, and I will see you there tomorrow for the premiere of their film. Site-42 staff, this has been Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site-42, and this has been another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. You have your orders. Thank you as always for your service. Be safe, be well, and secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. I have you breathing down my neck, I don't know what you could possibly expect under this condition. So I'll wait for the ambulance to come, pick us up off the floor. What did you possibly expect under this condition? So slow down. This night's a perfect shade of dark blue, dark blue. Have you ever been alone in a crowded room? Well, I'm here with you. I said the world could be burning and burning down. Dark blue, dark blue. Have you ever been alone in a crowded room? Well, I'm here with you. I said the world could be burning till there's nothing but dark blue. Just dark blue. The credit song is Dark Blue by Jack's Mannequin. Be safe, be well, and secure, contain, protect.